When our pet is in pain, our first instinct is to reach for that medicine cabinet to give them medication to help relieve their pain. Although medicine is really beneficial in some of our pets, in other pets that are actually sensitive to medications such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories or steroidal anti-inflammatories, instead of helping them feel better, it can leave them feeling worse. In some cases, it can even cause vomiting and explosive diarrhea. If this is your pet or you're simply a parent who's trying to stay away from conventional therapies because of the fear of its side effects, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Priya. I'm a rehabilitation veterinarian, and today I'm going to share with you 3 effective remedies that you can perform in the comfort of your own home to help relieve your pet's pain. The first home remedy for managing your pet's pain is using hot and cold compresses. You know the sort that you use when you have menstrual cramp pain or neck and shoulder stiffness? Hot and cold therapy is by far one of the simplest and an effective home remedy that you can use to relieve your pet's pain immediately. A question you're probably wondering now is, when do I use a hot compress and when do I use a cold compress? Heat warms up the body and makes blood flow better to a certain area. Heat is best applied in cases where the condition has been going on for a while. Let's say your pet has been stiff for about 5 to 7 days, a few weeks, or even months. Therefore, heat is generally applied in cases of chronic inflammation. Here's what I use when I'm doing warm compresses for my patient. I simply open up the lid, I fill it up with hot water, add room temperature water so that the water temperature is about 40 to 45 degrees. I try it on my skin to make sure that it is comfortable, then place it on the affected area for about 10 to 15 minutes. After warming up the body, you can then continue to perform massages, stretch, or do passive range of motion exercises for your pets to further alleviate joint and muscle stiffness. In contrast to heat, cold causes constriction of blood vessels. Cold is generally applied when there is swelling and heat involved. This is called acute inflammation. Think of this as fresh and recent injuries. You can also use cold when there is a flare-up of an old problem. So let's say your pet has been diagnosed with elbow arthritis about 6 months ago. His condition has overall been quite stable, but suddenly you notice that he's starting to limp. Why he's limping is because there is acute inflammation in the elbow joint. In this instance, applying a cold compress to your pet's painful elbow joint is going to help ease the pain and make your pet feel better. The best type of cold compress is to use crushed ice wrapped up in a clean wet towel. As for me, I use my handy hot and cold pack. So all I do is add in ice cubes like so, add in some cold water, and I'm ready to go. I apply it directly onto the skin. If the animal is cold sensitive, you can place a clean wet towel in between the cold pack and the skin. Using a wet towel instead of a dry towel will help cool the area down faster. Ideally, cold compresses should be applied for a minimum of 20 minutes, but in reality, some animals become cold intolerant really quickly. If your pet shows signs of fidgeting or moving away from the cold application, stop and do not continue cold compressing the particular area. Another effective home remedy to help relieve your pet's pain is a TENS machine. A TENS machine sends small electrical currents to the area of injury and changes the way the nerves in this area transmit pain signals to the brain. When there are less pain signals being transmitted to the brain, this will help your animal feel less pain. This is a TENS machine, and this is one that I use in my clinical practice when I'm treating my patients. I press this button and it turns on. I go through the settings. I'm choosing my pulse width, the frequency, the time I'm going to use this machine for to treat the animal. And once I'm happy with my settings, I connect up the electrodes, like so, and I'm going to place the electrodes on the patient. Before I place the electrodes on the patient, I apply some gel on the electrodes, then place the electrodes like so on the desired area. Once I do this, I'm going to turn up the intensity until I feel tiny little contractions of the skin or muscle fibers underneath it. I would recommend treating each area for 15 to 30 minutes, once or twice a day, until you have sufficient improvement in the way your animal feels or an improvement in their overall mobility. If you're interested in performing TENS therapy at home, get in touch with us and I will share with you the exact step-by-step technique to perform TENS therapy at home safely for your pets. The third home remedy that you can use to help manage your pet's pain is a home laser device. Laser therapy is a technique where we use light with special characteristics to help the body's cells repair and regenerate. When your pet's body cells and tissues are healthier, this means that there's less inflammation, less swelling, and thereby less pain. I absolutely love my Class 4 medical grade device. It looks like a giant Nintendo. This is an MLS laser, and I've used this machine for about 5 years now. This is a device that your clinicians will use to be able to perform laser therapy for your pets in the shortest duration of time with the most effectiveness. However, your home laser device will look something like this. This is a Class 3B device. This is just one that you can buy online. So I bought mine from Amazon. A Class 3B laser is less powerful. It doesn't mean that it's not effective. It just means that you need to use it to treat a particular area for a longer period of time. A therapy that would usually take me 5 minutes to do with a Class 4 laser device will probably take about 10 minutes or so with a Class 3B device. So the Class 3B device is really very easy to use and it's super light as well. So all you need to do is press the on button and you can see here that the battery is fully charged. This is 5 minutes and I can set the time. And to start the treatment, you would just press the on button and you can see that this red light comes on. Now this red light is just a protective light. The laser light is in the infrared spectrum, but it doesn't produce any color, so it's not red, it's invisible to the naked eye. So we used a red light to actually let us know which direction the laser beams are going at, so it's a protective mechanism. Laser device like this may or may not come with safety goggles. So this is what a laser safety goggle look like. They're quite cool actually. These just protect your eyes because the laser light, if it passes through your eye, it can actually damage the retina and cause you to go blind. So you don't really want to shine a laser device directly into somebody's eye or your pet's eye. So you're just being really careful when you're using this device at home. Although Class 3B laser is a lot more safer than, let's say, my Class 4 laser. So usually when I'm treating, let's say, an elbow joint, I'm going to set it for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to pop it on the joint and turn it on. And you're going to move the probe just really slowly and treat the entire area of the joint, just like so. So super easy to do. It's not painful and generally very well tolerated by your pets. Just a disclaimer, if you're using a home laser device to treat your pet's pain, you have to be really careful if you are treating an area where there is cancer involved. So this may be a growth on the skin cancer, a growth beneath the skin involving the subcutaneous tissues, or a growth involving the bone, such as bone cancer. You want to be extremely careful because the laser light is not able to differentiate between healthy cells as well as diseased cells or cancerous cells. So if you're using the laser device to treat, let's say, your pet's elbow pain, but there is bone cancer causing the pain, what you're going to do is stimulate the cancer cells to repair and regenerate and grow bigger. And this is something that we do not want to do because that's going to make things worse for your pet. The other area you want to be careful when you're treating using the laser would be over growth plates of young growing animals. So let's say you have a puppy who's got a fracture and you want to help manage the pain. So This is its front leg, that's the elbow joint, that's the wrist joint, and it's fractured right in the middle. You want to be careful when you're treating this area because the growth plates of the animal is very close to the joints. It's close to the elbow joint and it's close to the wrist joint. Now, the danger is the laser light may actually damage the cells over the growth plates and therefore will alter the way the animal develops. So you want to avoid that at all costs. But what you're going to do is make sure that you treat only in the area of fracture and not involving the joints themselves, or not involving the region nearing the joints themselves. So what happens if you have an animal that has got a fracture near its joints? Laser therapy may not be the best option in this case, and you probably want to use other modes of treatment, other modes of pain relief, such as your hot and cold pack or your TENS device. Always seek advice and guidance from your veterinarian before you purchase and use a laser device for your pet. As mentioned before, if you'd like to learn more about other ways of using heat to help relieve your pet's pain, I have a video on exactly that which you can watch. If you're interested in using a TENS device to help manage pain at home, please feel free to send me a message and I'll send you a video on exactly how to do that step by step. Once again, this is Dr. Priya from ArcVet Rehab, helping you care for your four-legged friends. I hope you found this video helpful and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.